Oh shit, are we live? Welcome to Herf Zone Live, the show where we have the most eclectic lineup of guests, of which some smoke cigars and some who don't. Either way, we bring you the best content weekly. Herf Zone Live is sponsored by StogieLives.com, a social media site just for cigar smokers. Sign up for free and connect with cigar lovers from all over the world. Set up with similar features to Facebook and other social media sites. You can grow your network, start groups, post events, and see why everyone is talking about StogieLives.com. Make sure to connect with Team Shirtless Mike and Herf Zone Live and tell me you came because of the show. Team Shirtless Mike and Herf Zone Live are also getting behind a special project with Ace Prime Cigars and Stogie Press. They are working to raise money for a daycare center in Jalapa, Nicaragua to help out workers in the cigar industry. Among helping in other ways, you can check out the news article and learn more about the project down in the live stream description. Well, how is everyone out there doing today? I'm going to get ready to smoke this La Aroma de Cuba, and it's one of my favorite cigars. I smoke a lot of them. It's a great price point. It's like the $6 price range, $5 in some places, depending on the size. And it's just a good cigar. So I'm going to light this cigar right now. And I hope everyone's having a good day. Shouts out to my boy, Andrew McCreary. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Anyone else out there wants to say what's up? I will shout you out before we bring our guest on tonight. So tonight I have a great brother of the Leaf. I've met him briefly once, but I follow his movement and everything. So I want to make sure that we're giving him his props here. So hold on one second. All right. So waiting patiently in a Cigar Hustlers podcast green room, we got Ray Farmer, who is the founder of All Black Everything 24/7. And we're going to talk about all that he has going on. Make sure you subscribe to a Cigar Hustlers podcast on YouTube. Support my sponsors. And without further ado, here goes Ray. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Shirtless Mike? How's everything, my brother?
Doing good. So we were talking before the show. You said you came this close to being shirtless for the show. And I was like,
that close, baby. That close.
I don't think you could have done it as well as me, but you never know.
I could dig it. I was that close, Mike. I was that close.
That baby. Close. I mean, you wouldn't be the first. I'm sure you saw the Cigar Mike video from when I was in South Carolina. You probably watch it after the show now. So, yeah, we're just going to get started here. I see you drinking on some scotch tonight.
Oh, you know I am, baby. That's my drink. The good old Glenfiddich Caribbean Reserve 1824 single malt.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to. You said it's hard to find, so I'll definitely have to try that out sometime. But we're going to get started here. So we're going to get started from the very, very beginning. I do my research. So you're a DC native. Tell me about what it was like growing up in your era and what was like growing up in your family.
Oh, DC is one of the greatest cities in the world, man. Once you come here, you don't want to go back. I was originally born in North Carolina, but I was raised here in Washington, D.C., went to Moton Elementary, then went on to Kramer Junior High, Douglas Junior High, and eventually graduated from Anacostia Senior High School. Just ran those streets in D.C., Mike. Once you run those streets in D.C., baby, you set for the world. It's nothing can shock you or scare you or pretty much nothing phase you in here. Once you're here in DC, it's like no other city, man. No other city.
So you're talking about running the streets of DC now. When you were like living that street life back in the day, or you're just talking about generally speaking.
Well, I ran the streets. I lived that street life. I was an athlete as well. It was like a fork in the road, which way I was going to go. Mm-hmm. You young, you trying to make things happen, trying to make ends meet, trying to provide for your family. You have to do what you got to do as a man. And that's one thing I've always been taught by the older guys. You know, make sure you get your education and do what you got to do as a man to take care of your family.
Yeah. So basically, you weren't out there like living reckless too much, or you're just basically an old school mentality. The old heads, with that with telling you the right stuff. Not, unlike today, where a lot of times,
Right.
like there's not that direction today, really.
Exactly. You know, we had people to look up to. We had these rappers and all these people that the kids look up to now. You know, this generation right here. You know, myself, guys like you, other positive brothers, we got to snatch these kids up, man,
Oh
and give
yeah,
them
and
some
I
positive
try to do
influences
that.
and role models. And role models because when I was coming up, I looked at the older guys, you know, the hustlers, the pimps, stick up boys, you know, those guys that taught you a lot of things in life. It gets you ready for the real world, and it's not gonna play with you. They let you know off the break, life ain't fair. Off the break.
Definitely. Oh, there it goes. Taking the drink, as I said, definitely. So you go by the nickname Boom.
Hey,
How did you get that nickname?
boom. The name came from my brother. God rest his soul. My brother, Shake. Him and a guy around the area, famous DJ in Washington D.C. Stormin' Norman, and they had a little truck called the Booming System. So everything was always boom with them. So as my brother passed, it's probably been almost 30 years now, I say. So I just carry that name on. I just start carrying boom. And a lot of people always say, Ray, what do boom mean? It depends what type of conversation we have. Boom can mean fuck you. Boom can mean you all right. Boom can mean hello. Boom can mean anything. It's how I'm feeling and what the conversation's about.
Definitely. And so while I was doing my research, I found out that when you were a kid, you worked picking tobacco at your grandfather's tobacco farm. Now, were you involved in the whole process, or were you just, labor for your grandfather?
Well, back here in DC, you know, my parents work hard, and during the summertime they would send us to North Carolina. And down in North Carolina, we learned about hard work, sacrifice. So we learned how to pick tobacco every year from the age of 4 to I was 12 or 13. I worked the tobacco field from the ground up. I learned how the tobacco is grown, how it's cropped, how it's hung in the barns, and eventually how they auction it off the cigar people. So this cigar game about the tobacco fields, some hard work, Mike. So when people always come to me to talk about hard work, if you ain't working them tobacco fields, you don't know about hard work, bro. And that was from the age I say from 4 to 13.
Mm.
Hard work, sun up to sundown.
Now, at your grandfather's farm, yeah, he was growing it for cigar use, or was it for, like for cigarettes?
Well, he was growing it for cigarettes as well as cigars, because I remember like yesterday where they had vendors come down. He had 100 acres. He would grow the tobacco, hang it up in the barn, like I say, let it dry out. We'll unstock it, bag it up in the bags, take it to the auction where you have people like JR Cigars come down. People were actually buying the tobacco. And so that's
Sweet.
why I say this cigar game, I watch. I watch
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't new to this, you're true to this. That's real.
it. Yes, sir. Thank you.
And when exactly did you get into smoking cigars? And do you remember your first cigar?
Yeah, I do remember my first cigar. I used to watch my grandfather smoke. He smoked the pipe and he smoked cigars. He was sitting in this little rocking chair, crossed his legs, have his overalls on. I used to just watch him smoke his pipe and watch his cigar. I thought it was so cool and unique. I'm like, wow, my granddad was a big guy, probably about 6'2", 215, 230, big for back then. And he was like a role model. So I tried to pattern myself after him. So one day I snuck and got one of his cigars. Almost killed myself. But that's how I started smoking cigars. And my very first cigar was a Romeo and Juliet 24 years ago.
Mm,
25 years ago, I apologize. 25 years ago. It was a Romeo and Juliet. That's what I started with.
nice. And so you got into cigars, we got into all that. So you were the owner of All Black Everything 24/7. When did you get into fashion, and what made you decide to start your own clothing company?
Well, fashion has always been a part of my life. From childhood, like I say, from childhood all the way up to adulthood. We work hard. Like I say, my mom was sending us to North Carolina so we can work in the tobacco field so we can get school clothes. That was your hustle. So we learned how to hustle back then. And if you live in DC, DC is all about fashion. We are trendsetters here. And when I say that, I mean that we are trendsetters here. You have people coming in and out of town, come here to steal our style because we're very unique. And to answer your question, I was like a walking role model billboard for certain dudes in the city. Because one thing about DC, you have a lot of clothing lines, clothing designers, inner city. It's an inner city thing. A lot of people from DC don't understand. If you're not from DC, you probably wouldn't understand. It's the inner city thing with this clothing thing. Your clothes represent you. We got guys like, these are true soldiers, like my man Eddie Vance, him and Ty at Madness. They've been doing this since 1985, brother. Then you got my man Kirk Bone. He's down with all days. You got so many people. I don't want to leave nobody out, but when I think about fashion, I think about those two guys first because they gave me a break. They put some stuff in my ear and say, Ray, we give you this. We do this for you. So why don't you just try to flip your thing? And my stand was always all black everything. Then he pulled me to the side and said, man, why don't you get your own clothing line? Call it all black everything. Give it a shot. And it's been 7 years and running that I've been doing that. Thanks to these two guys who put a bug in my ear.
That's real, bro. And so what is your inspiration for the clothing that you create?
My inspiration is it's keep the city tight in DC, first of all. And it's a high-end street value thing with us. If you don't believe in your brand, no one's going to believe in your brand. So you got to preach it, eat it, shit it, everything. You got to promote your brand. And it's funny because some people don't understand your brand. Like when I'm saying all black everything, people think it's about a black thing. No, it's not about a black thing. It's not about Black Lives Matter. It's a saying. It's a saying. And to be honest with you, Mike, I have a lot of white customers. I have a lot of out-of-town customers. I have a couple of customers out the country. And they understand the all black everything. So if they ever get a chance to go on my webpage, it'll actually tell you what all black everything means. Like the Ace of Spade logo. I don't play cards, but I've always been a lover of the Ace of Spade. And the Ace of Spade is the most curious card in the deck. It's the most mysterious card in the deck. And I had to use that card because that pretty much talks about me. You never know what you're gonna get when you meet me.
Yeah, for sure. And outside of that, you also have a cigar brand. You still have that, right? Because I know I was doing the research called Wise Guy Cigars. How long have you had your own cigars? And how did you get involved? Yeah, how long did you, how did you get involved with that venture, basically?
Well, I got involved with that with a few brothers of mine. We came together, we networked and put a cigar brand out there. But right now, to be honest with you, we kind of backed off of it. But this year, we're coming back with the Wise Guy Cigars. So we kind of faded it out because everybody had their own ideas. And men, when you got your own ideas, you have to chase your dream. But we've been meeting at the table trying to get things back in order. But the Wise Guy Cigars will be back this summer. Trust me.
Awesome. So how long were you doing that for? And
the cigar's been about 10 to 7 years, 7 to 10 years. And I was kind of cross branded with the cigars and the clothing line. Then I had to take both entities and break it up. Just go with the all black everything and then go with the Wise Guy Cigars because they was kind of clash.
Yeah. Now, what did like? How many cigars did you have in your line, and like what tobaccos were used and everything? For that stint.
Oh, we had about four. Yeah. We probably had about four great sticks. Maduro, Connecticut. Probably had about four good cigars. I think I probably have a few laying around. If I do, I'll make sure I send you a couple of them.
Okay, so basically you had something for, for every palate, and all that. Now, are you gonna continue on with the same blends, or are you just gonna those are in the past, and are you gonna come up with new ideas for it? You don't got to put everything out there on the table, but I'm just trying to see like where you're going since you're
Right.
saying they're coming back out this summer, like for what you can talk about.
Well, this, to be honest with you, I had a couple of guys, some big guys that's in this cigar game right now. I don't really want to call their name and put them out there, but they talk to me. I suppose hooked up with those guys, go down to Florida to take care of some things and make some things happen, but I couldn't at the time because I was going through something with the family. We had a lot of death going on through COVID, so I couldn't make that trip with those guys. But we still talk, we network, and we putting something together. We don't really want to talk about it too much, but we put it together. And as you would say, the past is the past. We come back with some new blends.
Nice. So it's like a whole new repackaging and all that. Cool. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing
a whole new line.
Definitely, I'm looking forward to seeing about that. So, you're not only a business owner with your cigar business, but you also have philanthropic, whatever you want to, how you pronounce that word, endeavors as well. One of which I know is you do a yearly school supply drive. How long have you been doing that? How do you go about it? And do you have donors, or do you just use your business to fund the effort?
Well, the school supply drive started a couple of years ago. I've always, we had a group, a couple of guys and girls. We had a group called Dudes and Divas, and we would always do a backpack drive every year for school. So as people grow and go their own way, a lot of people separated from it. So my thing is, once I start something, I'm gonna finish it. So I kept the wheel turning. We would always do a school supply drive. We would try to stuff 200 to 300 book bags. We would do a uniform drive, where to this day, I got some great brothers in New York up top. They send a lot of uniform down for the kids that's in my school, because I work in school system. So that's why I'm kind of plugged into that.
Okay.
And I have some donators that actually come and give us school supplies. And that's one of my biggest things. I always want to give back. In life, you can't keep taking and don't give back. So I've always been a person to give back, as far as the school drive, the book supply drive, the coat drive. Like this winter, I had a coat, sock, hat, and coat, sock, and hat shirt drive for the homeless people. We always do coats, but we did socks, and that's something we did. I hooked up with a couple of brothers, some great brothers. They did that, and I wanted to come in on the back end, and I did that and donated all the clothes and stuff to their foundation. So those are things I like to do. I love to give back. I love to help. That's why God still got me here.
That's real, bro. That's real. And so for anybody out there that that's watching maybe live or down the road, when they rewatch it, how can they get in contact with you to to reach out, just in case anybody was interested on jumping on and assisting you with that?
Okay, if they want to help out with the school drive, supply drive, book bag drive, any type of thing we're doing, you can contact me on my personal email, which is rayfarmer825gmail.com. Once again, that's rayfarmer825gmail.com. And we usually do the school drives in the middle of August. We try to get everything done in August, so when September comes, when the schoolhouses open, we can have everything right for the kids.
Awesome. That's what's up. Yeah. So if you're out there watching, hit my boy Ray up and I'll even see what I can do to assist, you guys as well. Cause that's something that's, it's a big thing. I know I helped out, locally here before. So, it's definitely something that's needed, especially in these times, it's hard times for a lot of people. So if you can't give back, give back. So yeah, when it comes to cigars, what kind of cigars do you like to smoke? It could be a brand or just particular types of tobaccos. Are you kind of all over the place with it?
I'm kind of all over the place, but I prefer a nice Patron. I love every line of Patron does. I love the Patron. That's one of my go-to sticks. And also, I one of my favorites all time, Oliva V series, the Millennial V series. Great smoke with a great blend of Scotch. Make your day a lot better. So, the Patron, the Oliva, also the Perez Carrillo, great stick too.
EP Carrillo, baby, can't go wrong with that. Now, which one is the one that you just held up? Is that the Pledge?
This is the Yeah, this is the pledge. This was Cigar of the Year, I think 2018, 18 or 19.
Yeah, I think it was just
Good
the.
smooth stick.
Yeah, I think the pledge was just the cigar of the year. I can't remember. It's so hard for me
Probably
to keep it.
was it
That's
19? I think it was 19.
yeah, into 20. No, it was like 20. I don't
Okay.
know because I get confused.
That's
That's why I don't.
fantastic.
That's why I'm not a cigar reviewer. I mean, I watch all the lists and stuff, but I can't keep up with that. I
Yeah,
have my
yeah.
own lane. That's why I don't review cigars. But I know you're a Scotch guy. So, what types of Scotch do you like to drink on a regular basis, and how did you get into Scotch? And I know you said you like bourbon as well. Like, what other types of drinks do you like?
The Scotch, just like I say, hanging around the older cats, Mike. I'm 52, but I hang around a lot of older dudes, and some young dudes come up under my wing, so I try to groom them. If you're gonna eat good, you better drink good and smoke good. So we pretty much like the Glenfiddich, we like the Belvina Triple Cast 12-year-old, we like the Double Wood Belvina, the Glenfiddich. We like Johnny Walker, red, black, blue. Also the Basin Hay, and we can't forget the what's the one, the Blanton. Blanton is so hard to find, but I met a brother. He flew me with some good Blanton. The Blanton is the drink they use at the Kentucky Derby. Great
Yeah.
smooth drink, man. I love Blanton. I had an older dude turn me on to Blanton.
I don't even think I've had any Blantons. I heard of them, but I don't think I've had any. Like, like I told you before the show, like I drink, but I don't drink to the degree I used to. So, but I definitely enjoy some Scotch because I can't sit like certain liquors. I can't sit there and just drink them straight up. But Scotch,
Right.
even though it's got some strength to it, like for some reason I just love to, drink some Scotch. Like, tastes good to me, and you don't need a whole lot of it, and you start feeling it.
Exactly. Scotch smooth, baby.
I think
Scotch
two
is like the
glasses, I'm
Cadillac.
done.
Hey, two, and I know I'm done. All it takes is two.
Yep. Two, it's just like, hey, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm happy regardless. But two, I'm just like, hey, I'm extra nice.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're just chilling and have the time to relax, where do you like to smoke? It could be a lounge or just a chill spot at home, whatever.
I want to chill and relax. Depends on the weather's turning now. I can sit outside of the park, sit by the water, relax, let your mind be free. As far as lounges, my office, always gonna be my office. Cigars 210, Fort Washington, Maryland. Shout out to Mojo's in Edgewater, Maryland. Affilions. It's the new spot we got here in Annapolis called. I know I'm gonna pronounce it wrong. Steve Twine, them guys gonna kill me. I think it's called Valitos. It's in Annapolis, Maryland. Great spot. So we got a couple of great lounges here. Also, my man done a pet work in DC. So they opened up a lot of lounges here, man. Lounges is coming all over. They got a few in Baltimore too. Some great spots in Baltimore. Smoke real good up there.
Oh yeah, sure. It seems like the whole DMV area is really popping. Like as far as the cigar scene goes, like I just see people all in those areas, and they're having cigar parties and just kind of just hanging out. And I mean, pretty much any like large area, because when I was in Charleston, we was turned up the whole weekend.
You know what? Cities like Charleston, Chicago. Me personally, I believe we set the trend for all that because you know how it is, Mike. When we was down at Black Smoke.
Yeah,
I mean, we clean switched it down in the DMV area, and then then Chicago took over last year. What a year before last, but the year we was down when I first met you. That's why I met you at Mike. Black Smoke Miami. We sat and chopped it up. I'm like, man, who's that dude? That's shirtless Mike over there with no goddamn shirt on.
No, I was wearing a shirt. I was wearing a shirt out there.
Mike, you took your shirt off. Mike.
Oh, I did. I can't remember. I was sober. I had to drive. I drove home that same night.
Yeah,
because I just came down for the one party.
I said, "Who's the white guy over there with his shirt off?" I sure did. Then I looked, and then we got to chopping it up.
Oh yeah, because I followed you online and had some interactions, but I was oh, what's going on? Yeah,
right. Yeah,
that definitely was a lot of fun, man. Like just the whole the cigar scene right now is just no matter where you're at, as long as it's a bigger area. Like Charlotte just had their cigar week, the Queen City Cigar Fest. They got Houston Cigar Week. I mean, they're on go pretty much.
They don't go. Just a couple of weeks ago, I went up to Philly Cigar
Oh
Week.
yeah,
That was pretty
Philly.
cool.
Yeah, Philly Cigar Week, man. I got some friends from Philly that live down here, and they told me how it is up there. Like, you know, there's definitely a huge cigar scene over there. So
Yeah, yeah. Matter of fact, that they got a big event coming up here called the DMV Herf. It's from make sure I get the dates right. July the 29th through August the 2nd, I think. You know,
yeah,
it's
I
the
think
one
I
here
seen
called the
some
DMV Herf.
people. I think I seen some people with some flyers when I was in Charleston. Like people from the DMV were down in Charleston too. I'm like, damn, everybody likes to travel. I mean, it's a good time regardless.
Oh
So
yeah,
I try to get to whatever events I can, but I haven't worked a whole lot like the past
can't make them
year.
all.
So I just do what I can. But since I was hired to go out there and do some coverage, like I got paid to go out there, so it was a little easier. So I had a good time. But when you're smoking a cigar, what kind of music are you listening to?
The type of mood I be in when I'm driving, I like to listen to my jazz. Get my jazz going, Norman Brown, just my good jazz going. And when I'm feeling hype, I got to get somewhere. I'm smoking my cigar. I'm about to go out and have a great time. Got to have my man Hova on, him and Rick Ross.
Mm.
I got to have them on. It all depends on what type of mood or where I'm going.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Rick Ross, because well, not Rick Ross, but I have I got ADD to my mind. So Rick Ross, he's got Maybach music and all that, and a friend of mine who came from Florida to South Carolina, I couldn't find a lift, so my friend Erica, she was coming into Charleston around the same time as me, so I ended up catching a ride with her business partner who has a Maybach from the airport to my hotel. And that was I felt rich. I felt rich up in that. I was like, wow, gotta hustle harder. I gotta hustle a little
$1 million
harder.
Mike. Hey, instead of call you shirtless Mike, I'm gonna call you $1 million Mike.
No, it's always gonna be shirtless Mike, no matter how much money I got. But so yeah, so we're gonna move on here. So what is your perfect afternoon? Like it could be cigar related, not cigar related, whatever.
Getting off work, taking a ride home, enjoying my music, smoking a stick on the way home because I'm gonna sit in traffic about an hour. Smoking a good stick, listen to some music, come home, unwind, relax. It's pretty much chill. It's quiet. So I've been called an introvert. Sometimes I don't like to be bothered. It all depends what type of mood I am. I'm a
Yeah,
Virgo. I like to chill. I ain't got to be the center of attention. I ain't got to have a whole lot of people around me. I know how to make me happy. And coming
absolutely.
home to a quiet evening, quiet house with a nice glass of scotch and a stick. That's it right there, Mike.
That's it. Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit of both. Like, I'm extroverted because I put myself out there. Everybody knows who I am. But then I get to a certain point where I just don't want to be around people.
Right.
But it is what it is. So we're gonna wrap. So now we're gonna get to the fun questions here. I didn't know how long this would take, so we'll probably be like another 10, 15 minutes. But so now we're gonna get to the fun questions. Basically, the whole part of the show where just ask random ass shit. So, sometimes it might be funny, sometimes it's just whatever. It might make you think a little bit, might stump you a little bit, but it is what it is. So the first one here, on a scale of 1 to 10, how strict were your parents?
7.
That's not too bad. I think my parents were like about the same, 7 or 8. It's not too bad. Who was your worst teacher?
My worst teacher was a lady named Miss Harris. She had the stinkiest breath in the world.
So that's the only reason why she was your worst teacher?
Because I couldn't take that stench. And I should just try to get to the back of the classroom. I'm being honest, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. So who was your favorite teacher?
My favorite teacher was Coach Willie Stewart. at Anacostia High School. That was my best teacher. He taught us how to be men, and he taught us about life. And we still use some of those tools today. After being out of school 30 years ago, we still use some of the tricks and trades that he taught us.
Mm, that's awesome. And what was your favorite toy growing up?
My favorite toy growing up was Evil Knievel. The little Evil Knievel used to pump the thing up and he used to jump over the ramp. That was my favorite toy, Evil Knievel.
Oh snap! I know who Evil Knievel was. I didn't realize, that they had that like a whole toy dedicated to him. That's cool.
Yeah, I think I'm showing my age. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're just a little younger than my dad. Not my dad's like mid-50s, so every generation's got their some of the toys overlap generations. So,
right.
If you could time travel, where would you go?
If I could time travel, I would go to Sandro Page in France and enjoy the good life.
And why would you choose that?
There's no mosquitoes there, baby. There's no mosquitoes there.
Shoot, we got hella mosquitoes here in Florida too. It's Mosquito City. Hasn't been too bad lately though, but it just depends where you're at. What's your best childhood memory?
My best childhood memory, I think I was playing lower league football for a football team called Assumption Catholic School. And I was the star running back. We played a team called St. Camillus. They had beat us the year before the championship. And I had it in my mind they were not going to beat us no more. So we met up again with them in the championship. Mike, I thought I was Walter Payton, baby. I had the best game of my life. The best game of my life. And on my defense, I thought I was Mike Singletary. I was hitting anything that moves.
I used to play a little football. I was a lineman. They used to call me Bubba Ray because they said I looked like Bubba Ray Dudley, the wrestler. But those were definitely some fun times. So,
oh yeah.
What is your pet peeve?
My pet peeve is I'm a neat freak. I like things in order. If I go to reach for something, I need it to be there. If I leave something on this table when I come back, I need it to be there. So I'm a neat freak. That's my pet peeve. I'm just a neat freak.
Hey, that's not a bad way to be. Definitely not. And who inspires you, and who do you aspire to be like?
My parents inspired me because I see the groundwork they laid down, working day and night to make sure we had the best. Make sure everything was fine. And I aspire to be. That's a good question because I really don't look up to no man, and that comes from being here in DC. We don't glorify nothing. You put your pants on the same way the next man did. So if I had a choice, I would look at Malcolm X. He was a powerful man, and he's kind of one of my heroes, to be honest with you. A lot of people like Martin Luther King. Okay, cool. I'm just not a Martin Luther King fan.
Yeah, definitely. And so
I go with Malcolm X. I go with Malcolm X.
Definitely. And so this next thing here, shark diving, bungee jumping, or skydiving, which would you rather do?
Hey, skydive. I'll skydive.
Heck yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like three things that I definitely would not do. I don't care if I had to make a choice. All right, moving on here. So what's your favorite cheesy pickup line, and have you ever used it in real life?
My favorite what line? Say it again.
Cheesy pickup line, and have you ever used it in real life?
My favorite cheesy pickup line. Yeah, I used one before. Before I was when I was out there living that life. My favorite cheesy line was that's a good one. Got me thinking, Mike. It's been years, man. Cheesy line was probably My favorite cheesy line was, "What's your favorite color?" You walk up to a young lady, ask, "What's her favorite color?" And you go from there.
True. And then what would you say after they respond? Was there like a response to that, or you just
Like, yeah, you come back, "Hey, that's my favorite color too." And the conversation starts.
hey, I'm gonna have to use that next time I'm going out carousing. I'm like, hey, what's your favorite color?
Hey, that's a good icebreaker, baby.
Heck yeah, it's simple. I'm definitely gonna try that out because I've tried out some cheesy ones which I can't really think of right now, but I think I've used the one like uh, "Are you a mirror? Because I can see myself in you" or something like that.
Hey, you from Tennessee? Because you don't need Tennessee.
I think I've seen these memes where I had this like white guy and he like with his shirt off and he's like it looks like he's like on the islands or something, and then he's like what Guam? My name's Chad. But see, if I'm a person somebody from the islands, I'm not gonna come lame like that. Like I'm white, but I'm not like white.
Hey, you know what? And it's funny because when I was younger, you know, you meet girls, you give fake names, and I had to tell girls my name was Reynaldo Halaquandrum Salsa. Hey, Mike, and they would say, "Spell it." Suck in, Mike.
Wow, that's
But
crazy.
that was my line, Reynaldo Halaquandrum Salsa.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm gonna have to research how to spell that because that's some good shit right there. And what's your favorite Disney movie?
And that's
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
my favorite Disney movie. No, okay, that's cool. My favorite Disney movie is DuckTales.
I like that too. I used to
Love
watch
DuckTales.
that back in the day. I used to watch that a lot when the cartoon when it came on.
Yeah.
And what is the weirdest scar you have, and how did you get it?
The weirdest cigar I had was
No, scar, like
I had a
scar,
buddy,
like
you know. Oh, Scar.
yeah, like a scar, like a mark on your body.
Yeah, scar on your body. Yeah, on your body. I think the weirdest scar I had when we were little kids. We were playing in a vacant apartment building, and we had an old teacher's chair. We used to push each other across the hall, across the floor, and the only way you can stop is hit the window. I mean, hit the base of a window. Either you're gonna fall out or fall backwards. So they pushed me out. You know, I was a lightweight. They pushed me. I'm going across the floor. I hit it, Mike. Rolled out a second floor window. Come down. Broke my ribs. And I still got this scar to this day. I had a scar that run across my shoulder because I fell out that window. Fell on some glass.
Oh Lord, and you're still alive
Yeah.
to tell it.
And I'm still alive. And then after all that, I still got an ass whipping because I was told not to go up in the apartment building.
See, the difference between your generation and my generation. Well, my generation wasn't really raised on that pussy. This is the generation after, but back then, kids was kids, and they went out and had a good time, and even if they got hurt, they at least mostly lived to tell about it. So now it's like he's like, don't do that, don't go here, don't do this. And they're all sheltered and shit. That's why all these kids are pussy nowadays.
Yeah, because when I was coming up, the parents will send you outside. You have a problem, they'll tell you figure it out.
Yeah,
you figure it out.
And we couldn't come in the house unless it was lunchtime. That's it. And we used to drink.
Don't open that door in that air.
My generation is literally like the last generation raised on that shit. Like there's some kids in my neighborhood that I kind of like, that they're always outside playing and stuff. I'm like, maybe there is some hope. Because I seen one kid
the
other day,
bikes playing.
Yeah, they was riding their friend on the back of their bike and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, like back in the day we used to do that, or ride on the handlebars. Or somebody's dog, dog used to get out, damn near chase him down the street and shit. Like, those were the days. Mm-hmm. So where did you and your best friend meet?
Good days, great days. Me and my best friend, we met. Actually, this is a crazy story you're gonna like. Had a best friend's name was Fat Jack, and he had moved from one part of DC called Northeast. He had moved to Southeast. You know, Southeast was a rough area, so he moved in the neighborhood, and we became friends because we fought one time. We was fighting. I stole his football equipment, and we actually broke inside his mother's ice cream truck and stole all the candy. That's how we became best friends. I know it's a wild story, but that's the shit we used to do.
Yep. So you fought, then you made up, did that, and it's like your best friends. That's dope.
Yeah, it became best friends. This was back then, you know, wasn't nobody running going to get no gun, no knife, no bat. You know, you fight, and all of a sudden you fight again. Then you become y'all. All of a sudden, you two hanging out together.
Yep.
Two peas in a pot.
And you live to see another day.
And you live to see another day, and became best friends. And to this day, we still friends. We got over 46 years of friendship in.
That's real. Just a few more here and we'll be done. So, which of your accomplishments are you most proud of?
Most accomplishment that I'm proud of is pretty much been a straightforward guy. Always been real, been loyal, been honest. Either hurt your feelings or don't hurt your feelings. Always been a straightforward guy. You know, I have a saying that I stole from my grandmother. If you bullshit the baker, you don't get no pie. And that kind of stuck with me. So my biggest accomplishment has always been a straightforward guy.
That's always the best way to be. Sometimes that got me in trouble, though, saying my opinion too, you know, way too raw and uncut, but at least you know where I stand.
Exactly.
But that's good. That's the type of people I like to be around. So last question here, and then we'll be ending the show. So what's the weirdest Wikipedia rabbit hole you stumbled down? So like you're on Wikipedia, you just start clicking links or unless you don't spend a lot of time online, but.
Well, I don't spend a lot of time online, but I was going across the Kwame Brown thing because, you know, with all that's going on now on the internet, I've been following Kwame Brown with all this nonsense that's been going on. So that's been the kind of wildest thing that I've ran across on Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's easy to do on Wikipedia. It's like you'll be looking at one thing, and then you just start clicking, and then you just down a rabbit hole. It's like an addiction.
Hey, it's kind of like that new thing that what's that, TikTok? You find yourself watching one, and you up 3 or 4 hours watching all them TikTok videos.
Yep. Shoot, I got on TikTok, which I'm gonna start using it again, but I'm just gonna make exclusive cigar content. And my friend Kevin Shahan from Cigar Prop, he got on TikTok. He's got like 20-something thousand followers on there, and he just makes straight up cigar videos. And he was the one who was kind of putting people up on game about TikTok, and now, you know, you'll see a lot more people from the cigar world on TikTok, you know, because it's not just for the doing stupid dances and all that. Like there's people on there who's got like a message and they'll do like, you know, just different videos about different topics. And so people hate on TikTok, but TikTok's definitely where it's at now. It's a good platform. I just have to make sure that I take the time to do some good videos. That way I could get, you know, the followers and, you know, the views and all that. Because that's the biggest thing. It's all about the algorithm and what's trending and all that. So
we got to learn to use these platforms right now.
Yep, that's the thing. But at YouTube, you know, I'm definitely growing on YouTube. So I'm almost to 400 subscribers. So, you know, speaking of, since we're ending the show, if you're watching, if you're not watching on YouTube, if you're not currently a YouTube subscriber, make sure you go and follow Team Shirtless Mike on YouTube and all that good stuff. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the show, brother. I really appreciate you for coming on tonight. It was good to just chop it up and, get you, find out more about you, to get your, your brand out there and all that good stuff. I'm definitely going to check you out soon. And, I don't buy a whole lot of clothes anymore. I'm always shirtless, but I'm going to get me an outfit sometime soon once I start working again. So get me a little outfit or whatever. Because you already know if I'm wearing a shirt, it's going to get a lot of attention. So.
Because you're shirtless Mike in the Herf zone, baby.
That's why they'll give me shirts. Like I'm like, if I wear a shirt, it's gonna get a lot of attention. So that I just get free shirts all the time. But I also spend money too because I like to support people and all that good stuff. So everyone out there watching, thank you so much for tuning in. We can chop it up after the show once I'll tell you we're not live. But once again, make sure you like this video, subscribe, share it out to people, tell people about Herf Zone Live. got some awesome shows coming up this summer. It's going to be a hot summer. So shirtless Mike 24/7 all summer long. So you guys have a wonderful day. And Ray, I'll let you know when we're not live. So give me